Yeah, defensive. I'll start defensively. I thought we did a really nice job holding up for the most part. We had the one touchdown drive that we wish we had back. Second drive gave up the explosive, which led to three. The 3 points that we gave up right before the half, those are things that we wish we could have had. We could have had back, but credit to Vegas for making good things happen. Third quarter, I felt special teams. We gave up field position a little bit too much. I think they took the ball at the logo a couple of times. I think we also had a kick return that we got tackled on the inside part of the 15-yard line, which wasn't good. Put us behind in the field position battle, which led to some points for them. And then offensively, again, with the exception of the third quarter, which I think was not very good. I felt like we moved the ball. We put ourselves in position to really have an explosive first half. But again, like I said yesterday, the penalties, we're just not in a position where we can overcome some of the penalties we've had. And on the very first drive of the game, we get the intentional grounding. The second drive of the game, we get the holding off the reverse on CJ. And then we get the off the turnover, the holding at the 3-yard line that nullified the touchdown. So those three drives right there, who knows what it could have been? Could it have been 21 points? I don't know. Could it have been at least 13 for sure? But obviously not something that we've shown the ability to overcome quite yet. No, we're talking. There's nothing with the quarterback, nothing with the play caller. We are going to, we're just looking at things with regards to schematically, the things that we can do differently, trying to continue to find ways to feature more of the things that our guys are comfortable with. Obviously, game plan permitted. As far as game meetings go, meeting structure, practice habits, or practice plans and all that, just we're looking at everything, guys. But as far as personnel changes, we're looking at some things, some different personnel changes, which I'm going to keep here with me. But we're looking across the board to see if we can find a way to generate some offense. You could argue that you could always argue that some type of change, and you're always going to look at the quarterback first, along with the play caller. When speaking about Zach, I get it. There's a yearning for more or whatever it is, but I feel like he played a good game yesterday. He obviously he'll admit that he'd want that interception back, but it is hard. It is hard to make changes just to make changes, just to pacify something. And especially when someone's not deserving. If he was deserving of it, I got you. Like, let's change something. And that's really for every position. That's a coach, that's a player, that's defensive play. It doesn't matter. You're always trying to look at ways to make sure that everyone is operating at full go. And to say that one person is the reason for everyone failing, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. But again, it's just one man's opinion. I was talking about it with some of the guys today. Up until, I want to say, the Denver game, I feel like we were one of the better teams in football over the last year and a half in terms of penalties, penalty yards, and all that. So it hasn't been an issue. Obviously, it's creeped up. I've talked to you guys about it before. What's frustrating, you try to clean up the post-snap. You've got control over the pre-snap and post-snap penalties, but it's the in-play penalties that are starting to creep up, and they're happening at the worst times, whether it's a holding penalty, a crackback, a chop block, just something stupid's happening. And it's very frustrating because it's derailing what had been, at least for us, a couple of really nice drives. But it's something that we'll continue to address, something that we'll continue to maintain, continue to focus on. But I'm going to keep my other thoughts in with me, but it's something we definitely need to get better at.